Hey guys, what's up? So, working on a little project here, and if you can tell, it's called Octoprint. And I wanted a solution where I could actually capture images of a print, and I also wanted to be able to print wirelessly from my printer. Um, I'm sure if you're watching this video, you probably already know what Octoprint is. So, let me show you real quick how I currently do it. I am currently running remote desktop. I have a computer on my test bench, and I'm using my camera connected to it, and it actually works fine, but I wanted something that was a little bit. I wanted something that was separate, and I also wanted to be able to capture like frames. Like basically do like a time lapse. So I went over to Micro Center, and I got this little micro or Octo or Raspberry Pi 3 B plus. I already actually have the original Raspberry Pi and Raspberry 2 B. I'll show you this in a couple seconds when I get to the thing, and that's what I got. It was $30 over at Micro Center, and I wanted this one because it had the Bluetooth and the wireless, the Wi-Fi, so I could just pick up my printer and move it anywhere in my garage. I wouldn't be constrained by having a network card. So, like I said, I already had a Raspberry Pi 2 and Raspberry 1, but this one's actually faster, 64-bit processor, quad core. So, and I also got a 64 gig SD card too to capture the time lapse. Yeah, because a lot of these prints that I've been doing, they're long prints, and they'll fail like 3 or 4 hours into it overnight, and I don't know how it failed or where it failed. So I'd like to be able to actually have that time lapse and see where the print failed, and kind of make adjustments based on that. But okay, so let's go back to Octoprint here, and obviously you're gonna need to download the software here. So this is the download. I'm gonna download octopi because I'm gonna copy it over to a. Sorry, I got a cold right now. Copy it to a SD card. So I'm going to download it right now, and I'll be back. All right. All right. So the file downloaded, and let's take a look at it here real quick. I should have it unpacked. Okay, there it is. Okay, so I'm going to go back, and on their webpage, they suggest using the program. Where is it at? Use Etcher. So I've already downloaded that and installed it. And let's see here. So let's select. I've already selected it already. Okay. I can just change and also choose the file you just downloaded, but you have to make sure you uncompress it first. This was selected by default. This is my 64 gig SD card, and we'll just hit flash. Got a warning. And then okay, there it goes, starting. So I'll come back when this is done, and we'll go from there. All right, guys. So the image is copied over, and let's take a look. So I'm gonna uninsert the flash card. I'm gonna reinsert it again. That way you can see what I'm talking about. This weird. You get this format thing, and you don't want to format that. So it looks like there's two different partitions they put on there. And for me, the one that I want is on the. Let me go over here. For me, there's two different partitions. I want the one on the G because I want to set up my wireless thing here. So make sure you actually have Notepad++. Don't use Microsoft, whatever, the WordPad. Okay, so I'm going to uncomment these out here. Secured, unsecured. Okay. Comment these lines out. Alright, so my wireless. I'm not going to obviously show you the password, but what I'm doing is I'm making this thing, it's going to connect to my wireless on boot up. So, alright, so I'm going to go back from my password in, and that should be that easy. So, I mean, if you want to do unsecured, you can see it like right there. Unsecured, but it's pretty straightforward. Yeah, pretty easy. So, yeah, I mess with Linux all day long, so I'm familiar with like all the coding. Alright. Alright guys, here we are. So a couple different Raspberry Pis in front of you. This is the Raspberry Pi 3. You can tell by the CPU. It has that metal heat spreader on there. This is a Raspberry 2. I think it's either B or B+. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've messed with this. But I did actually have Octopi on this thing already. But yeah, like I said, I wanted that wireless function, and that little chip right there is the actual wireless. And what's actually cool is the actual antenna is built into the actual circuit board, the Wi-Fi antenna. And then this is the original like model Raspberry Pi 1 Model B. Alright, so I'm going to take this out. I'm going to reuse this case. And this case is actually I have my printer right there. And this case is designed to be frame mounted. That's kind of what I want. Because everything on that printer now is frame mounted. I want to keep everything, because I want to be able to just pick up the printer and move it without having a bunch of wires that going everywhere. So, alright, so actually one of the things I'm going to do is, I'm surprised I never did this before, but I didn't put any heat sinks on this thing. It seemed to work fine. Actually, I used to use this as for Kodi, you know, like a media center connected to my my TV. But my wife got sick of dealing with the all my little hacks. So, alright, I want to get that on there. Alright, so I'm going to put that on the CPU. Give it a little extra cooling, just in case. And then this smaller one's going to go to the network card here. The LAN card, which I might or might not use. Yeah, I just like the fact that I'll be able to pick this printer up and plug it in wherever I want around my house and do some prints. So, it's not 100% straight. There we go. Alright. Yeah, so like I said, I can just pick this printer up, plug it in, and start printing. Connect it and print. So, actually that's not straight either. Move that down just a little bit. There we go. Okay, cool. Awesome. And then I'm going to put this back in here. Alright. Oh, I'm sorry. Backwards. Oop, there's my screws coming out. Oops. Alright. The cool thing is they're the same form factor, so I should get the same stuff should fit, you know. Okay, I hope so. That's the case. Okay. Looking good. Okay. Okay, looking good. So I'm going to put the screws back in and I'll be back. Alright. Alright, so here we go. Have it in the case. I have a couple T-nuts on there. And also have a 1-foot USB cable. So I'm just going to mount that to the back here. If I can get it to fit in here. Look at that. As close as I can. Hopefully I have enough slack to get to the... I might have to move this around a little bit, but... Tighten this down. And this should work with pretty much... this is originally an Anet printer, but this should work with like any sort of frame rail printer. Tevo Creality. Alright. Get the USB cable on there. I'm trying to get this on the camera so you can see as much. So if you're actually interested and you see my printer the way it is now, I spent a lot of time doing that, but it's I removed the boxes, and so this is doesn't look like your typical Anet printer. Alright, so I'm going to unplug the USB from my desk computer. There we go. And hopefully this is long enough. Awesome. And actually I'll put that as high as I can. There we go. And I'll be back. I'll show you the power connector. So if you watch my other video, making my little USB cable, I had to put that little 12 volt to 5 volt converter in there, and that's going to have a little jumper wire to micro USB to power the device there. So, alright. Alright, so here's a little short. I guess I could probably get a shorter cable. So I'm going to plug this into the back of my power supply. And then down. I'm going to zip tie it nice. I don't want any of the slack anywhere. And then under here, there should be a micro USB power slot. There we go. I'm going to zip tie that all nice and clean so you don't even see it. Alright, let me show you my camera right there. So that's a Logitech C270. And I actually got that camera because it's very, very well supported. So these are actually, this is like a focus ring. Because the problem is it's not designed to be focused that closely. So this thing is sort of like a focus ring that you can actually connect to it and change the focus of the camera. So I need to actually make it focus closer, like it's focused too far away. So I'm going to plug that into my thing here. But eventually I'm not sure if I'm going to keep my camera here or if I'm going to mount it back to my, with this other mount that I have printed out. I can mount it to this, the X motor, the stepper motor. There's a mount back there for it. Alright, so I'm going to plug that in. I'm not going to permanently zip tie this up because I might move it. But I will get into the Raspberry Pi high as possible out of the way so I don't knock it. Okay. So we'll do a quick fire up and see if I get any power on this thing, and then I'm going to hook it up to my HDMI. I have a couple test monitors up here. And then this one actually has HDMI, so I'm going to plug into that one. And that way we can see what's on the screen. So, like, you normally don't have to have a monitor connected to it, but I thought it would be nice. Alright guys, so I thought I was going to connect to one of my monitors, but I didn't have for some reason I forgot that thing didn't have HDMI on it. I don't have my DVI to HDMI converter. It's on my overhead projector, so alright, let's fire this up. See if we're getting power on the Raspberry Pi. Double check, make sure. Power there. I got power. You can see the power light inside the board there. Hopefully this thing is booting up. That's why I wish I had my monitor connected to it. So I do actually have my network card connected to it just in case. I can't. The wireless doesn't connect for some reason. So, all right. So I don't think this thing is actually, actually creating enough amperage for this Raspberry Pi 3. Because when I plug it into the actual AC adapter, then it seemed to come on 100% network activated. So, gotta figure out what's with this thing here. So, let's do a quick test. Just curious. See what happens with this thing. Raspberry 2 here. So that's interesting. Alright, cool. I'll figure it out though. So, might have to change this out to a more powerful converter. Alright, this is just something I had already, so. Alright, cool. Alright, so let's see if I can find this thing now. You saw it connected to the network via my yellow network cable. So I brought up a command prompt here, and let's see if I can ping it. Ping octopi.local. Alright, it's responding. Okay. Alright, so now I'm actually going to SSH into this thing. Octopi.local and change the password. I guess you didn't see that screen. Okay, and it should be Pi and then Raspberry. Alright, so this is what I'm familiar with. I'm familiar with Linux. Password. I'm going to change it to root password. And you're not going to see that. What is that password? Why not? Oh, current passwords. Raspberry. Alright. Okay, cool. Awesome. Now I can log into the web interface here. Alright guys, let me show you. So I first logged into the web GUI, but let me show you how I got my IP address. I'm running a Cisco ASA. But I can see these, I think the wireless and the network card both picked up IPs. So, alright, so I'm logged in. And yes, I can exit. So I know where I'm at. And so I'm going to just go through the initial setup, and that's it, guys. Pretty basic. So I mean, really only took me a couple minutes. So, all right, guys, awesome.